Hi, how you doing? I'm live. I'm here. I want you guys to know something. I did an experiment with this brand new microphone. I tried some tests with it and without it. I was going to do a standalone video. I didn't see any difference. So you know what? I don't have a handle for this, so I'm not dealing with it. If you guys can't hear me, contact Miracle Ear. If it's good enough for Joe Namath, it's good enough for you. That said, there's a reason why I'm doing this stream today. I got put on the invite for a certain nightclub, and they're having dancing tonight, and they're having a costume contest. And I have to enter it, right? So this is part of it, and I guess this will have to be part of it, and what have you. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to, well, first of all, I'm thirsty as all get out, and I can't make coffee because the coffee maker broke. So I'm actually putting water that I have in this, and I refrigerated, and I put that in the fridge. And I'm really, really thirsty. So there's an open window right here. So I'm doing this here so that I have more light. And then, of course, I have the other light over there for when I'm facing that way. Oh, man. So thirsty. But I would like to open up the window because it smells like dead mice in here or something. But I'm afraid if I open up the window, it's going to get really chilly in here. And since we don't have heat on, and with the electric bill being what it is, I don't want to add to it. So I'm just going to be cold. And since you can't smell dead mice or whatever it is, it's great. So, okay, I am going to set this down here. And I'm going to, uh, you know what? I'm going to take a chance and changing into something else. And I'm going to come back here. Some of the things I have with me to save time because of the nature of the makeup I'm doing. These are makeup removers here, different kind of things. I did a very, very minimal makeup. As you can see, all I have is skincare, sunblock, a light lipstick, and my eyebrows. But that is it because I wanted to save time because I didn't want to be scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing when I have this makeup to put on. And this has got to be the best light in the house. Plus, the other person is going to be gone until Monday, so I can be as loud as I want here, and nobody can complain. So you guys stay put while I go. And oh, you know what? I just remembered something. I got to get soap in there. I mean, there's soap in it, but I want to get soap. I want. Okay, yeah, I got a nice big bar. So plus, I have to make sure since my mom has to walk down the hallway, not alleyway, the hallway to get into the bathroom, and sometimes she holds on to things for balance, and a couple times she knocks things down, and things fall on the ground and get dirty and I have to wash them again. I really don't want that to happen, so I have to push things so that they can't get knocked on the floor. It's bad enough I have to wash everything by hand. Having to rewash it with for it to dry, it's real aggravation. So, yeah, I'll try to make this real quick since I know this is live and all that. But the doors don't open in the club till 10 o'clock tonight, so I'm kind of going to take my time. Like I said, the microphone doesn't make any louder, so I want to make sure that there's nothing on here. Okay, now I'm in a computer. I want to make sure that there's not any funny uh, things that I could accidentally touch. Last time I went live, I went on a cell phone, and I, for a while there, accidentally hit a mute button. Somebody told me that they thought I may have done that, and sure enough, I did. There's no such thing here on a laptop. Now, one thing I'm worried about is this is balanced on some things, and if this falls, that will really suck. So you know what? I'm going to move this to a place that has much more stability, but the light's not as good. Because if this falls and it crashes and I'm in taking a shower, I won't know. When I come out of there, well, when I come out of there and you see some of my mom's apparatus here, okay, I'm going to have to get the rest of the clothes, which are here and all that. So bear with me. This doesn't need to be here. This can be in here. hopefully I'm not getting kicked off of YouTube now. Let's see. What this is. Roberta Calkins. Hi, Leather. First time seeing you live. I've been watching you for a while. Well, hello. I just literally got out of the shower. I'm dripping wet. I probably look like hell. But this is a get ready for me for a reason. This is the before. Woohoo. Um, I had to really sanitize the shower area with those wipes. So, uh, oh, 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 this is weird, huh? I've had this for over 10 years. Thinking, what can I do with this? Well, tonight we're going to find out. I'm going to dry off a little bit. I'm going to put a few items of clothing on. Okay? stocking. Totally. Goodness. Okay, this will be perfect. See these? You already see. So, okay. You give me a minute. Okay. Roberto says, I love that festival you went to. That outfit looks awesome. I love that look. Wilfred. Hello, Wilfred. I guess this is the sausage making time. Oops. Okay. Okay. You know what I hate about this kind of stocking? The kind that have a gathering of a heavy band like this, they are so hard to hook up with garters. because you've got this band here. It's over an inch wide. And even with a metal garter, you're trying to grip it. Even if I fold it so that I can get the stopper or the garter thingy on, I'm hoping it's going to stay. And I'm going to walk around and that thing's going to slip and it irritates me so much. Okay, now here's what we're going to do. Should probably put these out of the way, huh? I hate these clips because they always snag in my hair. Always, always, always. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I got this on Temu. It's whiteface. Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead. You know what? No. Here. All you purists here insist on doing everything the proper way. Prim and proper, and butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. Well, guess what? Whoops. I have a foundation brush. I'm going to. The thing is, this is a lower quality. This is not like a Ben Nye. Any of you goths out there, a good Ben Nye white face. You can put that on with your fingers, and you could get a nice. You can get it a little sheer if you want, and you could build to more of an opaque thing. So you can, because I usually went for more of a sheer white face look when I would go into goth clubs. And I already washed off some of my face treatment, but first I'm going to check to see if I need to wipe off the eyebrow makeup with anything. Oh, you know what? I don't usually use these kind because this has mineral oil in it, and I hate mineral oil on principle. But just to show you, and you don't need to use the whole thing. If I only have to wipe up a wee little bit, then what I'll do is I will tear off. I'll put the rest in the pouch. Now, oh my goodness, the end of the night, I'm going to go through so much. I'm just going to use a straight up oil on my face first. Okay, do this first. Eyebrow sweep. Okay, look. In here, no, I'm not turning around now. Okay. Then, I'm going to load this brush. Oh, I'm going to once again hope the hell that my hair is out of the way of my face. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to load my face with white face, including the eyebrows. Okay? Temu, I was so afraid that the flyers, the tariffs were going to make it expensive, but for the things that I need, and I got both the cell phones that I'm using right now are real cheapos that I got from Temu. They have enabled me to carry on creating content for my channel. Okay. And if you're on a budget, if things happen that fuck with your income, like what happened to me with the cops around here, if they would have just let me be playing guitar on the boardwalk, that was something. Now I could do it when I wasn't busy with my mom, and there was times when she didn't need me, and I could go on the boardwalk, and But the cops had to put their foot down, and they have been ticketing people so badly. So the first step to this is going to be a fairly opaque white face. And you know what's going to suck tonight? We're supposed to have wind and rain. We got a nor'easter tonight because there is I guess, a hurricane close to, but not going to hit shore. But they're predicting flooding for some people. We're lucky we don't get flooding. The corner floods, it goes down in like 3 hours. I was here for Sandy. I was out taking pictures in it. You know, now that, yes, some of the water did breach, go past the sand dunes and did come, but it didn't cover the boardwalk or anything. At least not up here. And the thing is, meanwhile, you have people that are still panhandling. They're begging. And I know people personally who come up to people and ask them for things. And I get so resentful when I go onto the boardwalk and I see people I know that are making money, but they're doing things that are nuisance things. People don't like it when you approach them and ask them for money. I mean, I don't like it when people ask me for money, and I always feel bad. But I also then I get angry that when I try to find a way to support myself, it's not hurting anybody and actually is fun and helps you to make a reputation for yourself. I got to be known as a guitar girl, and that's a pretty innocuous thing to be known by, considering all the other things that set us apart from people. Okay, now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find something else that's better to pull my hair back because it's very crucial that I have my hair back really well because I really can't. I'm going to keep it the in these things. The more you do this, the more it gets tangled up and stuff. But I need to clip this out of the way. So excuse me. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Hey, you guys are over 21, right? Because I'm thinking I have a wee little bit of some sticky icky, and why not, right? I probably smoke out on half my streams, so I'm hoping I don't offend anybody. But this is like the one thing I still do in life. I gave up all my other vices. And around here, it's not like, believe me, if you saw what the gene pool was like here. It's ridiculous. But I smelled a little bit of weed when I was at that thing. You know, I just wish there was people there that I knew. Oh, and then this computer started giving me problems yesterday. I was not all of a sudden I was not able to type any text without it all of a sudden switching to another tab, and all these things were happening. I'm thinking no, because I have things that I also filmed on one of the cell phones, but it wasn't the right time for the footage that I shot, and I like to have things in more or less chronological order, especially when there's a theme there. And it's important to have things in a certain order because I want you guys to watch things in order, and you come off my videos feeling something, and that was what I wanted to do. Okay, Roberta Calkins says, I was to hear that your mom was able to find a lawyer to address your house situation. I'm an advocate. I run Angels of Advocacy. So if you need anything more information on low income housing, let me know. Thank you for mentioning that. We were given a list of 4 pages long of different kind of housing, and most of it was in neighborhoods as bad, if not worse, than this one. A few things were actually not in the area. My mother, she really wants things to be here in Atlantic City, and she and I want pretty much the same things. We want a place that's easy to get to by public transportation. And now this is something that's more important for me than it is for her. She's not going to be the one that's going to be running around and stuff because she's pretty much likes to stay at home, except for if she has a physical therapist, has her do a walk around or something. But I, on the other hand, look at me. I need to feel that I'm safe walking around. And there are some places of this town that are really interesting. And a couple of times I've been filming outside, and I had people, guys, men, approach me with rude propositions, saying things. And when, of course, I asserted myself that I wasn't that kind of girl, would you please leave me alone? And please don't say things to me in front of all the people I'm talking to on my stream. And then I had this guy one time. I was near the Tropicana Casino, and I'm talking my thing, and I'm wearing my cute little outfit, whatever. And he, hey baby, did you go on dates? I lost it, dude. I'm like, my biggest insult is if a person thinks I'm a prostitute. I just, and I've met some nice people in that life. So, I mean, I'm not going to judge, even though, yeah, I guess I sort of do. But if you've been having somebody accuse you of that since you're 11 years old, it'll bother you too. So, anyway, I got really angry at the guy. And the guy, I wanted him to apologize to me and my audience. It's all he had to do. Instead, he grabbed my computer, my laptop, and he threw it like a frisbee and he smashed it. And this was a live stream. If you look at the live stream I did October 29th of 2024, you will in fact see, because he didn't totally smash it. And, that was destruction of my property. And for a while there, I didn't have anything else to create content with till I got my first cell phone in Washington, D.C. And, this is just water. I don't drink. But, oh, I just realized something. I don't have any fire. Oh, shit. Um, you know what? If you guys want to follow me, I'm going to unplug this and I'm going to take this into the kitchen. Okay? I'm glad that I finally have use of this room because this is where my mom's physical therapy guy comes in twice a week. They do exercises there. Say hi to mom.
How dare you?
Say hello.
How dare you?
Oh, she's going to beat me up now. Ooh. Okay. I'm going to come into this kitchen. This kitchen is really interesting. Interesting kitchen. How am I going to do this? I guess I'm going to plop this right back. Let everything is balanced on everything. And, yeah. Set this here. And this is called marijuana. I'm over 21. Gee, I'm sure you're surprised. And I'm in the state of New Jersey, which is fully legal for all of us grown-ups. Thank you. I worry about her. She is 84. And, every time I think I'll have a chance to go do some traveling, I realize I have to make all these arrangements to make sure that she's not left unattended. And I have things set aside for. I thought that I was going to go to Washington, D.C. for a couple of days. And then lately it's looking like it's not going to happen. But now it's pertaining to Charlie Kirk, if you guys know who he is. He's a very promising young man who is a very staunch advocate for free speech. And even though he and I were very different in many ways, he, I'm sure, would not have approved of that lunar fair that I went to and all the magical people that I tried to make friends with. But he was for family values, and he was for uh, turning around from some of the decadence of the present culture, especially with some of the interesting things that are being taught to kids in schools nowadays. And I'm going to watch what I said because sometimes if I talk about specific things, I offend people in the chat. And they accuse me of being phobic of this and that, whatever. And, you know what I'm phobic about? When I go to the stove and instead I approach the sink as if I'm going to get fire from the kitchen sink. Charlie Kirk. When I watched Fox News Channel that day when he was supposed to speak, and just like on the news, sometimes when finally something newsworthy happens, they go and cover it, and it's just like when Butler, Pennsylvania, when that guy tried to shoot Trump and did shoot him in the ear. I was watching that live when it happened. I know we bandy about the word trauma, like, oh, I was traumatized by this. I was traumatized by that. But I really was bothered by that because I have family that live in Western Pennsylvania. Butler, Pennsylvania is close to where we had a family reunion some years back. So I'm thinking, if I lived in that area, I know I would have been there. Any chance to see my favorite president, and for some scumbag to do what they did, and now with Charlie Kirk, it just makes it feel like any of us in media that even slightly veer right, we have a target on the back because there's so many people that look at us like we're less than human, like we dare to speak views that because some people are offended by, we need to be silenced the most permanent way, and that is to kill us, and that's sickening. Okay, I'm going to. If you don't approve of this, please turn your head. You know, I enjoy this, okay? I really enjoy weed. And this is an edge of a paper plate that would have otherwise been thrown out. Oh. Okay, it is. Okay, I need to fix my time. 12, 13, 14, 15. I guess it's 3:04 now. Uh, the club opens up at 10 o'clock. So I need to have my makeup on by then. Verdict Culkin says, yes, me, I saw that. I was so concerned about Trump. I was so excited he got up and shouted, fight, fight. Trump is awesome. He's my favorite. And see, it was so important for him to get up when he did. Imagine if they had just carried him on the stretcher, then people would have been worried, not knowing what happened. For him to do that, even though he was risking being out in plain sight, whatever, to let the people know. What a terribly scary thing that was. I mean, you know, I know what it's like to vote for somebody just because that's the candidate that you got to vote for because you want your side to win. But there's other times when you get really enthusiastic about a candidate. And Trump has been like that for me. Same thing with George W. Bush after 9/11. Because 9/11 was the point that turned me, honestly. Um, I'm finding meeting more and more people that are in the walkaway movement that turned away in more recent years. But I find it hard to imagine how 9/11 would do it. But maybe if you're really, really, really young, it didn't impact you the same way. For me, it impacted me because it was a stark contrast that took away my sense of security. Before, the shores, the oceans that we had gave enough of a geographical distance that it seemed that we had this sense of security. But when 9/11 happened, it proved to me that, look, anybody from anywhere around the world can get here, and that people are now already here, especially with our rampant immigration. So, but one thing that I think is great, I'm grateful for being on the East Coast, even though I would have preferred to have been in California. Here, I can get to Washington, D.C. easily. I can get to New York City easily. I can get to Philly easily. So, if there's newsworthy events that I would want to be there, I can get there. Oh, I can see these mice. They are so smart. I cut these extra things so that I have things to burn, my weed with, and they take them and they carry them into the stove. The thing is, they live there. I can't eat. I can't use the oven because what if you burn them up, right? I don't dare use the two back burners because they're living there. I don't want to hurt them. I'm very careful to check before I light anything because I don't want to hurt them. You ever look at a mouse up close, you see what I mean. Now that thing I went to Sunday, that witchy thing, I didn't dare wear any Trump stuff. I didn't want to give anybody any excuse to shun me or anything. But you know something? As it is, didn't talk to me. Okay, there's one time when I was talking into the microphone and some young lady asked me if I was live streaming, and I said if I could get a signal, I would be. But I said I did have a channel, and she asked me what the channel was. So that was the only time anybody came up to me and interacted with me in any way. Um, I spent a lot of time looking at the booths of stuff for sale, and I went all over. And I got the feeling most people didn't want to be taken away from their friend groups. There were these people that went there. It's almost like everybody had their own velvet rope area and their group of friends. And they stayed and they talked to their friends, or else the people, of course, who were in couples and they were with their significant others, their spouses, whatever. And of course, because everybody seems to be jealous, you don't dare talk to somebody that looks like they've got somebody with them. So there was a whole lot of reasons for me not to talk to people I didn't know. And it's kind of a shame because there was some good-looking people there, but there was a lot of interesting things to see, but a lot of things that cost money too. So. I was gonna say I want to not leave a nug on here because I'm afraid the mice would eat it. Then I realized there's really nothing left. Uh, oh well. I'm gonna take this. Oh, I don't want. You know what? I'll pick that up later. Oh, I got this tiny little thing. I'm going to go ahead and bring this back where I was so I can plug this in. Because I really need to get started on my makeup, don't I? I was going to say something if I had anything really appreciable left. I didn't want to take the chance on the mice grabbing it, even though I've never had mice eat my wheat when I had a wheat. I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of weed the way they don't like onions or garlic. Mice will not touch any of those two. Okay. What I need now is I need the lid off the white face. Oh, here it is. Okay. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Oh, yeah, just so you know, I'm going to do some cooking on this also because I should eat sooner rather than later because the doors open at 10 o'clock. And if I don't eat at all, I'm going to be hungry. So, but I can still start some of the makeup. I have lots of blacks and I have lots of whites. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the white is as close to the eye as possible on both eyes. I just want going for some symmetry. Okay, I keep on getting the feeling that I have hair touching my eye or something, and I find that a little bit annoying. I not don't like to use a powder at first because then it makes it harder to clean up smudges when they happen. So, oh, there it is. There it is. All right, and I am going to create a place here. I'm going to bend this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm creating. This is full of a bunch of eye makeup. Well, first of all, I want to put this out of the way since obviously I'm not using it, since it doesn't seem to make a difference. Maybe I need to go and find some instructions for that or something, but I don't have a holder for it anyway, so. All right. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a test to see what the draw is like on these. Okay, this is nice. So, do you see that? Now, I'm going to let you, I'm going to hope that this is good enough for you to see. Okay. Now, you see what I'm doing so far? Now. Ooh, okay. Okay. See, I had to correct that. Okay. Roberta Colkin says, I feel the same way. I'm central New Jersey. I cover the whole state and make sure I know all the transportation in different places. I research different counties, look up their numbers. That's a good idea. I did that more when I lived in Los Angeles because if, say, I had a gig, but it was in Orange County and I lived in Hollywood, and that was like I had to take 5 buses one time to get to something in a place called Orange in Orange County. And it was a real fun gig once I got there. I brought a bunch of clothes and different shoes and things, and I did a stereo slide project. I found a gig in a newspaper called The Recycler, I don't know if that paper even still exists. Now, if this ends up looking too gray, I can always just go over it with something darker. You know, I have blackface, but I don't think it's very opaque. And for this, you need something very opaque. The stickier it is, the more of a disaster is waiting to happen when your hair smears in it. That's why the pigtails is such a good way to wear the hair. Now, I can try covering these with this. I definitely wouldn't use this for eyeliner because I don't know how long it would stay. But I will try. Now, another thing I could do is I could actually hit it with black eyeshadow and white eyeshadow. But the chance of keeping that from smearing, and there's almost no way. And when you're dealing with, I'm going to be dancing, and these are going to be EDM DJs. Okay. And I like my techno. I like my EDM. I like the stuff like that. It's, you know, the stuff that's not pop or hip hop, or if it is, it's only in small doses. And, you know, see, it never hurts to have more than one kind of, to really have it stay. Because if you figure the costume contest, the judging doesn't happen until what, midnight? Something like that, right? And I'm already going to have been working up a sweat. And I think as long as I do the upper part first, then I can eat, and then I can do the lower part. So now, one of the things I would like to do when I go there, I would like to ask if I could set this up, and if they're going to have some kind of a costume contest thing or whatever, I would like to set this someplace, and hopefully they'll say yes. Because, look at all the people that they bring somebody with them and they hold their little cell phone, whatever. Well, last time I took somebody with me to a club when there was a contest. This was a Madonna Vogue off at Boogie Nights, Tropicana. And this girl, this chick, and she was not a drinker or anything. And I'm thinking, and this was not hard equipment. This was a cheap ass digital camera at the time when I still knew how to operate them and why she missed the thing. She wasn't even running the camera when I was on there, and I didn't have any footage of it. And it's like I was so pissed off at her. I said, you know what? of all the reasons why people say that it's good to go out with your friends and go out and spend time with them, and it's like, I don't ask for much. But just, please do the, if you can't press a button, it would be like if you can't hold an open laptop, you can't press the thing that turns it on. Look in the thing and see what you get into frame. I mean, this is not that hard to do. Unfortunately, so many things in life seem to require assistance of another person, and I find that really annoying. Like when I was trying to take pictures at the lunar fair, and so many things seem like they were designed for people to go with other people, so you can have somebody take the shot. And it's like I thought that there would be a ledge to like mount things, and it's okay. Okay, now this will be where anybody's ever been curious the eyebrow technique, because you can see they're actually there, you just can't see them. So I'm going to load this brush with black. I want these eyebrows to look like they're coming from the stripes. So this time I'm actually totally changing the shape that they are. And even though I do my best to make sure that I'm more um, symmetrical than maybe natural, this time I'm not going to worry about it because zebra stripes are never symmetrical in the wild anyway. And I got to go with whatever's still going on my face right now. So and the sooner I get the top done, the sooner then I could start putting something on to eat, and then I could do the rest of this. Because at 10 o'clock the door's open. It's not. See, that's the thing is that I like doing the zebra stripe thing, and yet the bottom thing is not zebra stripe. It's this weird pattern that I, rather than do a totally different stripe pattern, if I had found that earlier, I could have thought of something I could do on my face that was more like that. But I've been doing zebra stripes for so long, I could practically do it in my sleep. So I'm thinking I might as well just go with the stripes. See what I'm doing? And I'm going to go and take this down. And I'm going to take this down. You see where we're going? So I'm going to make these eyebrows just part of the stripe pattern. Again, I've been doing zebra stripes so long, I'm very confident that I don't need to go and copy pictures or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna go back down. I'm glad I got these really cheap on Timu. Like some of them were 69 cents. I got all these different brands, figuring that something's got to be good, and the price. And I figured, let me get them before these tariffs kick in. Even though I saw the fine print, some of this tariff stuff doesn't kick in if its package is under $100. So if you're getting really cheap electronics, like those really cheap cell phones I got, one was $54 and one was like $60. Now, for some of this stuff, I really don't want to smudge. That's when I'm going to bring in the big guns. For years, I never even wore mascara with this look because there's no way I've ever been able to find to keep mascara from smudging. And if you're going to get things to me, that kind of ruins it. So I'm probably not going to take that chance tonight either. But I do have one particular eyeliner. It's the most expensive one that I have here. There's this place that I go. It's a beauty supply place locally. Ever since they closed down the one in Ventnor, it's actually closer to Margate. That was quite a haul, huffing it down there. Well, so there's this other place I go to, and they have a single, two kinds of waterproof. One's a thickening and one's a lengthening mascaras, and they have a waterproof eyeliner. Oh, here it is. I got it out. Okay. And it says 24-hour. And this is the company. And they also make um, some of my hair dyes and stuff. And they tend to be a lesser expensive brand, which is another thing I love about them. But because I want some of this to not smudge, the only thing is there's a very little in this. When you shake it, you don't even hear anything. And for the most part, I don't wear this because I just wear things that if I'm putting makeup on for a video that I'm shooting and then I got nothing else to do that day, I don't need something that's going to last me 24 hours. If, on the other hand, I'm going outside, I would like something that I don't reapply. But then, even with that, there's priorities. If I'm just going outside to go and see if somebody's dropped off a big pile of clothes, and to say there's a place that's throwing a meal, I could bring mom back something, then I'm probably not going to take as much care with things, especially if I think, it's like I give different degrees of glamour and whatever. Just like today, I wore the black stretch pants that I just did in the beginning because I figured, first of all, it was dreary, it was raining, it was drizzling, and it was windy, and it was supposed to get windier and windier and stuff. And so I didn't want anything that was going to be hard for me to wash and dry when I came home. And plus, I didn't want anybody to take pictures of me if, say, I was a place where I didn't want to be photographed. So sometimes it's better to be a little dressed down a little bit. Anyway, I'm going to do a little basic bottom eyeliner. I really kind of have an appetite. I went and got some sourdough bread um, Monday morning. It's just a coincidence that I was awake and dressed during that time. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect because why not, right? Now, this is, again, like I said, this is not going to be symmetrical. So when you know it's not symmetrical, sometimes it's good to make sure that it's obvious that it's not symmetrical, so that Now, I never wanted anything to flake over on this side, so I usually kept what was on the eyes to a minimum. But I do have white face and I do have white eyeshadow. So, yeah, that's going to be hard if they're asking me what I'm supposed to be. That's always the hard part. You know. 'Cause I usually see what I'm doing as some kind of walking art, honestly. But I know society likes its labels. And then once people get into their labels, then they expect people to be mind readers and be able to tell what their labels are. Okay, now I can see that I need to do some more on the top. I'm just going to do some easy things. Okay. Cover this with this. Maybe I will hit some of this with a black powder shadow. Oh, you see what I'm doing? Yeah. You know what? I should probably go into my altar and light a candle for things like costume winning, for these contests. This is a season. This is the season for entering costume contests. You know? Oh, if anybody has any spare stuffed, life-size, angry-looking German Shepherd dogs, hit me up, please. That's all I'm going to say on that. I hope it doesn't rain during the time I go there. Because if I wear an umbrella, it's just going to get blown inside out by the wind. Oh, it's weird this one starts here and this one doesn't start till there, but you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do some setting powder. I'm going to have to go in the other room for that. I've got right here. Let's see. Oh, that's not good. Something fell someplace. And in this room, oh, okay. That was the lid off the eyeliner. Okay. Yeah. Okay, what am I looking for? Oh, yeah. I'll be right back. Hey, it's you. We play a game. Come on, let's play a game. This game is called Piss Off Mom. Let's piss off Mom. Look who's here. Oh, please. I told you she'd be pissed off. Oh, I hear. You'll be pissed off. Yeah, I will be. I'll die in this room all alone. When the coroner wants to know what's her cause of death, we say I got tripped up on her landline telephone cord. Oh, what the hell am I here? Is it for coffee? That's for sure, since I have to boil water and make instant. Since the coffee maker went bye-bye. Have this thing. The mice have a new home. Part of the reason why I got these things here so I would have nice plastic, hard, sturdy plastic things that the little bastards can't bite through. Well, guess what? I was messing around here, using my computer as it was, and I heard this scratchy, scratchy, scratchy sound, and I decided to open the doors here, and this cute little gray so-and-so jumped out onto the back part of the computer right here where the edge of the hinge is, scurried down the edge of the bookcase, and ran on down. And it was cute. It wasn't as big as it could have been, but it was a little gray mouse. It just went airborne. Just went airborne. I'm guessing at least 3 feet. And they're just so cute. And I know they make messes, and believe me, they make messes, but they are really cute. Anyway, oh, what the hell was I in here for? Was it to get setting powder, I think? Um, Now, if I need to get any more touch up with the white face, um, now I read where you said you love German shepherds. Somebody had a German shepherd in that garden, and his name is Caesar, and he was a really cool dog. He sounded like a big bitey dog, but he was not. I know as he sounded, his bark was worse than his bite. And a couple of times I had business in the garden area for different things, like I had a compost to put in the pile, or I had this mouse that I was trying to set loose, and then all of a sudden I see this dog, and I was so afraid that he was going to harm the mouse. He never found the mouse, and he was trying to eat the compost, and he was otherwise adding personality to the video, and I do miss him. But though what I didn't like is about him, he was walked in the garden area instead of walked outside, and they waited at least a week to pick up his. And other people also were walking their dogs around there. Once that started happening, the whole idea of growing things around there just kind of, you know. So, oh, okay. So I got these things out now. You know what? I'm gonna get some food things started because I'm getting hungry. Okay. Oh, now, okay, my mom did something really weird the other night. Um, she put away, I made her some company had these vegan pot stickers. They were made of some meat substitute or something. I got rid of the packaging. As you can see, I gave her almost all of them. I wasn't too impressed. You know, how hard can it be to take some pork, put some lemongrass in it, or some ginger, some garlic, and some onions, and a little bit of hot pepper, and maybe some sliced green onions, and some toasted sesame oil if you have it. Add that to the soy sauce. That should be a perfect dipping sauce. But hey, that's just my opinion. So now what I'm going to do is I have a little bit of chicken. Look at this. This says Mama Izzy's pounded chicken cutlets. Now these don't have anything on them. One time I got something for my mom that it had a bunch of two different kinds of stinky cheese on it and different stuff. And it's like, cheese. I don't do cheese. But anyway, I got this and it's totally plain. And got these things here. These are mushrooms. Now, I got a situation here where I can't turn on the water here because the sink's kind of stopped up because it needs to be washed and I haven't had time to deal with it. So it's easier for me to wash my hand and do dishes in the little bathroom sink. Okay. But anyway, I'm going to put this back where the makeup thing is, which actually, no, I'm going to put it right here. And I hope that this is not where a microphone is here, because if you can't hear me, I guess I'm really screwed. You've heard the phrase screwed pooch? Now, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here. I'm going to take a couple of mushrooms here. I'm going to take this, I'm going to wash my hands, I'm going to wash these off, and I'm going to cut them. And then I'm going to put them around here. Okay, the things that I cut, I'm going to put on here. Now, you said, what was that chicken? And you put soy sauce and other things on that looked good. Was there anything hot in it? The heat would have been just red pepper flakes. Because the only peppers I had fresh was sweet peppers, and most of them were probably moldy and been thrown out in science experiments. Let me wash these and wash my hands. Hey, I just realized something. Since I have this much of the makeup done already, I can actually use the one cell phone that still has room for me to take pictures of and stuff. I could take a picture or two that I could use for the thumbnail for this. Um, and can you see what I'm doing? It's a real decent sized container of them, so. I really like to use things up before they turn bad. I hate to waste food. And something like mushrooms, are so low in calories, and one of the things that they're good for is that they help to purify the blood. So, now I'm gonna. Oh, okay. I can just throw in. Oh, this is totally ready for recycling. You know what? I'm gonna throw in some ginger paste. Okay. And I'm gonna. No, yeah, I'm gonna do these first. You know what? I'm gonna get a few more. Oh, I just did something to my right hip. I was stepping over something and I did this twisty thing. And you know, I'm going out to dance where I'm going to be doing all kinds of funny twisty things. The only thing that kind of stresses me out a little bit is that I no longer can wear cute shoes. And wanting to wear something that looks good enough to be on a dance floor, you know. Guys have a lot more leeway when it comes to footwear. You can just wear comfortable things. And a lot of times a clean pair of sneakers can be okay for a man. But us women, there's a lot of social pressure to wear these beautiful sculptural pieces of footwear that we're teetering on the brink of risking total collapse of our spinal column because we are so totally knocked out of alignment. And if our feet affect our posture, and we may look good, but we're forced to walk in an exaggerated way. Can't do any really quality dancing either, incidentally. It took me a lot of time to come to terms with that. Okay, now I'm definitely crowding the pan with this. Okay. So I'm going to put this back in the fridge. Whoa. Oh, and these just say Baby Bella mushrooms. These are supposed to be portobellos. But I don't know if I believe that because portobellos are much bigger and they're wider because you can actually make them, they call steaks. They have them, they're like practically as big as your dinner plate, and you can have them. My mom's had them grilled. So, no, those can't be portobellos. I don't care. I've never met a mushroom I didn't like. Except for obviously you don't want anything poisonous. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the fire on. And the thing is, I just went ahead and I took that ginger paste and I threw that in with the frying oil, which is probably stupid as hell. Now I'm going to do something else. using hands that are not as clean as they were. Oh yeah, I'm going to turn the fire down. And I'm hoping this doesn't get sticky because now I'm going to be dealing with raw chicken. Oh yes, you just see what this is. I want to stick this underneath it so if it drips you get to see. This is a chicken cutlet. I'm going to have to cut this. Now if this were frozen some, they're actually a little bit easier to handle when chicken has a bit of a freezing to it. But when it's all like this, it just slips around and stuff. But what I'm going to try doing here is I'm going to have to wash this really good because now I've grabbed it with a hand that's touched wet raw chicken. I want to try to cut this in small pieces that are even more or less size so that it cooks the same time. This was obviously pounded, but still some parts of this are thicker than others. So these are approximately 1 inch pieces I'm going for. Now, this is going to be something that I am not really having a method to my madness. I'm just cooking some things that appeal to me, and it hopefully will not make my stomach stick out. I got to have a flat stomach by the time I go there. Yeah. This is why I am very funny about when I film and when I eat and all that stuff, and especially if I'm wearing something form-fitting, because I'm one of these people that I eat 4 or 5 bites and then all of a sudden I look like I'm pregnant with twins. I have this real, my body gives me very serious food baby vibes. And, you know, can you imagine if I was reviewing food at a buffet? Mm. And I really would like to stir the mushrooms that I have sauteing behind me, but because I have raw chicken on my hands, every surface that you touch when you touch raw meat, you have to wash that surface. And raw poultry is the germiest. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use this, turn the fire up, down a little bit. I'm going to go and I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to wash this. You smell something good. I hope it's not burning. Oh. I could smell that ginger. I'm sure I'm going to need to add a lot more oil to this when I actually put the chicken in. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mushrooms out. I'm going to set them aside, and then I'm going to put the chicken in. We have a clean knife now. Roberta Calkins says, I have same issue. I have to wear a training belt because some asked if having a baby. That was embarrassing. Yeah, people need to really watch it. Unless you're seeing a baby being pushed out, people should shut up. I see a lot of things and a lot of people and people now, like, I normally would wear a lot more bare midriffs. That's part of my style. But if I'm not feeling confident in my body, and I know this year I put on like a good 15 to 20 pounds because I was eating a lot of sweets and pies and different things which I had no business eating, and I did it to myself. And you know what? I did it. I have to undo it. So it doesn't happen in a day. You guys, I am hungry. I am hungry. Hungry, hungry. Hungry, 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 hungry. I'm going to dry my hands. Oh, I read somewhere that you should eat fruit earlier in the day and eat your heavier stuff later. That for some reason, if you ate your fruit after, it wasn't as good for you, and I'm not sure why. Because sometimes if I have fresh fruit, I crave it whenever. But if it's not as nutritionally good for us to eat later in the day, then I guess I won't do that. But when I was coming back home from where I went to this morning, where there was no clothes, so I wasn't able to bring anything back. But I got her back a plate of food. Anyway, I found a bag of oranges, and I would really like to have one of those. But guess what? If you got away, okay, I'm going to turn the fire off on this. Now this, I guess I will do a soy sauce marinade. And this is one Joshan less sodium soy sauce. I actually like the darker soy sauce better. I'm not a fan of Kikkoman, believe it or not, because I think their soy sauce is a bit too sweet. I'm just going to spill some of this. I'm guessing that was about 2 tablespoons onto this chicken. And if I do this, I'm going to have to wash my hand. I'm going to do it. Oh, hand. Now, you know what I need to do? I need to shake some black pepper. Mm. I also need to put some oil into this pan. This is just, it says vegetable oil. Uh, this is perfect for stir frying, vinaigrettes, marinades, baking, and deep frying, so it can handle high heat. I wish I had some olive oil, but for deep frying, it's not good. Okay, it's probably a little bit too much oil. Oh, and sometimes you could save your oil, but always smell it. If it smells bad, then obviously it's. Bye-bye. Oh, I just see an onion has sprouted. So I'm going to look, sprouted onion. Okay, I'm going to let's see. I'm going to shake some black pepper onto this. I went from having like no pepper to the chicken lady or somebody set out a whole bunch of it. So I got some. There's somebody do that with salt. Hey, one thing, I have sweet low now. Okay, okay. I'm going to. Well, you know what? Since this is being fried up, I'm going to fry up. Oh, you know what? I was going to wash up those pieces of onions. I have a feeling that, well, first of all, they wouldn't have any mouse manure on them because mice have an aversion to onions. But this is going to be fried where chicken is going to be fried. So I'm going to. Ooh, and there's chicken blood. Yes. Mm. Okay, I add a little tiny bit of water just to dilute this. Okay, now I'm going to put the fire on kind of low. Now I'm going to wash my hands. Smells good in here. Okay. Oh. Oh, here's one. Oh, okay. All this is. Oh, this is wonderful. Now, rosemary. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to give some black to my mouth because I'm going to need to take a picture. Um, oh, don't want to splash myself. But there is something I do want to do now. I need to get salt on. Okay, see. Oh, what the hell. And, okay, I'm going to take these down. Oh. Now, all right, this is where I get to put some chicken in. I don't know if I should add any more of this. Oh, no. Mm. So I guess this is mushrooms and chicken. Oh, one of the things that YouTube has been doing when we do live streams, its built-in AI creates highlights for us. But for the most part, they've done a pretty bad job of choosing what I would want to be highlighted. Because, like, what would they focus on? The makeup or the cooking, right? Yeah, there's something else on here. Rice, cooked rice. And I have baby red and green leaf lettuce. Oh, and oh, you know what I had yesterday? I had a whole bunch of fresh cauliflower. I had to scrub because it had some mold on top. I had to scratch that off. And I boiled that when that was soft. Oh, that was so wonderful. Okay, now we got mushrooms and chicken. And then I'm gonna let the lettuce wilt. See what this looks like. Oops. I wish you could smell this. I'm gonna have to wash this off because I just fell back there. Somebody say red pepper. I don't want to eat too much though. And I gotta push all this stuff to the side here. Don't want to eat too much because you know what the problem. But if I don't eat now, I'm gonna be starving. See, I could never be Anna because I love to eat too much. But It sucks when you're vain, and I am vain. I'll admit it, you know? See, this obviously touched raw meat, so this needs to be washed separately. I'm gonna bring you close to my cooking here so you can see what the heck I'm doing. Okay, so we can talk here. Need this. Okay, I'm gonna make the problems of this house work for me. This floor is on a slope going toward this way, so the oil is going to collect over here. And that's exactly where I want it for what I'm doing here, because I want to fry up this rice. Without it hopefully sticking. Because one thing about frying rice is that you get all the starch that sticks to the bottom of the pan and you scrape it, you scrape. And hopefully you're not making unpleasant sounds for other people to hear. When people scraping with metal on metal, oh, that just drives me to a place I don't want to be. You know? Squeaky, squeaky. You know, I had people ringing my doorbell late at night twice in a row. Yesterday and the day before. And the day before, it was the person who was being a drunken idiot. And not the friend who's a drunken, but somebody who tried to say that he was trying to quit and then couldn't even make 2 weeks. Well, and I thrown him out. Right. So anyway, he came by the day before yesterday, and he could see me through the window. I was where my set is, and sometimes I let that window be uncovered so that if I'm hoping for certain people to show up, they could see that I'm home. Anyway, he saw that I was home, and I was not letting him in, and he's got to figure that I'm mad at him. And so then he tried coming again yesterday. And when he came over last night, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, a lot of people would consider that a rude time to be even coming by, you know, unless this was a prearranged thing, or in case you have a real special relationship to my family or to me, or something. You know, 1 o'clock in the morning. It seems now, even though I do keep uh, the kind of hours that are unorthodox, and I understand that, but still. You know, it's a good thing that I still had my makeup on and I was dressed. What I hate is when I'm actually in for the night and I'm ready to take my makeup off, get in the shower, and go to bed. And once my makeup's off, I do not want people coming over. Or when people making a call on Facebook, and instead of it being just an audio call, it's a video call, and I'm already in for the night. No, if I'm not ready to be seen in public or to make a YouTube video. You know, it's too late. It's just not appropriate time. I'm not one of these people that really cares to be seen looking at my absolute worst if I can help it. That's just, even my best buddies, you know, if you're lucky, you'll get to see me not wearing lipstick, and I'll wear my mess around the house clothes, my PJs and stuff. But, I always have at least some makeup on, and I'm ready to face the day. And when I'm no longer on call to deal with the day, Well, then I guess phone calls are okay, but then if it's that late, then I should be trying to desperately get some sleep because I do not get enough sleep. And people tell me this all the time that, but because you have to carve in time for these things, just like you have to carve in time to cook a meal. And so many times, like I'll fix my mother something because she craves certain things, and if she likes to eat certain things that I don't like to eat, of course it makes only sense that I'm going to fix her things that she likes. And if I can find some things that are quick and easy and have cheese in them, which I don't like, and she likes them, then I can make some things for her. And so the other day she said, "Well, what about you?" And I said, "What about me? Do you know how much extra time it takes preparing food?" It does. There's a big difference. There's a reason why people order takeout or delivery or have these technologies now, these Uber Eats, where they can get a side dish from this place and order from this and from this and this. And if they don't mind paying the extra fees, you can do all these things now. Oh, I know what I'm looking for. I'll wash it alone because I'm a chopsticks girl. Okay. That's what I have. I don't know what this is. It's got chicken and mushrooms and rosemary. Mm-hmm. Mm. I'm going to add some dark soy sauce to this. These hinges feel so weak. Mm. Hot, hot, hot skillet. Making my boyfriend chicken salad with basil and sun-dried tomatoes. Oh, that. Thank you for mentioning basil to me. Did you say basil? I love basil. Mm. Well, this also has. I went in the garden and basil, 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 basil. I love basil. I don't want the mice to find that. Sometimes you leave a bag for too long, and all of a sudden they found it. I had a whole bag of sweet potatoes, and they found. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wash these off. I don't know when we're going to get our killing frost, but I'm going to make sure to take whatever people don't want from that garden. Okay, I'm going to just tear this up. It's really, I think, easier to just use the dried stuff. But you know what? I actually took some and I froze it without tearing it up or anything. And so when you freeze it that way, it's brittle. And then I guess it's easier to break apart. Oh, I should have put this in the rice as I was frying it up. That would have released the flavors. Mm. I'm so glad this computer's working all right. It was really giving me problems, and I was making some of those pity party posts on Facebook saying, "Oh, I can't type anything. It won't, just the usual complaints and everything." And then I turned it on and off a few times to see if that would do any good, and it finally did. You know, sometimes the remedies that everybody suggests, rebooting. Yeah. Mm. I think I need more rice in this. So. Mm. And I'm just going to go ahead and eat this. And I'm going to hope my stomach goes down in time. Yeah. And one thing that I wish I had was a toasted sesame oil. We had a really great Asian supermarket only a few short blocks away. And unfortunately, when COVID hit, I guess I noticed they were gone when I came back from Washington, D.C. And I was just really totally bummed. You have a store that you can get ingredients which are very specific to Asian cultures. And so if you're looking for something to learn how to make these recipes that you see, that I look at these videos. I go on that loot up site where I watch videos and you get paid by the ads. And I watch these creators from the Philippines and from India, and they cook. Mm. This is the size rice cooker I have. It's a small one. But if you're only cooking for two people, for the most part, that's fine. The first one that I had was a much bigger one. And those are the ones like you see in a lot of restaurants. Sometimes they'll have them out on the counter. Mm. Now, if I wanted to, I could have opened up a can of mixed vegetables. I could have thrown that in there. You know what? I can't wait to make. Got a couple of these. But seriously, these are uh, acorn squashes. And usually you cut them in half, take the seeds out, put butter on them, and bake them. I can't bake anything in this oven, so I'm going to have to get creative. Oh, I better turn this off so that I still have power. Oh, 97%. Okay. So, I'm just about out of weed. Yeah. Gonna have to do some roach hunting when I come home from club tonight. I gotta be discreet when I'm there, though. I'm gonna be dealing with. I'm probably the lowest class person there, so I'm gonna have to really do my best to seem like I belong there. By low class, I don't mean how I comport myself. I mean, if we're talking about the socioeconomic backgrounds of people who tend to go to clubs. Most people are spending money drinking. Maybe they ate out. They got a budget for these things. Part of the reason I haven't been going out is because who can afford all these admission fees? Mm. I used to go to the Flashback Fridays up at the Golden Nugget. That was on Fridays, and it was free. They moved it to a location that insisted on carding everybody, and then they charged $10. Then they decided to run Fridays and Saturdays, $10 each time. And it was mostly the same bands that I was seeing before. Yeah. Let's figure I already have to get transportation up there because you can't walk it. And if you're spending money now, yeah. At least that thing I just went to, that yes, I paid to get in. And it was worth it because I got to walk around and be in an element that was just different, and got to be around with other, in theory, witchy people. And people I would have most liked to talk to, they were there because it was their gig, and I didn't want to waste their time. I wonder if any of my friends are going to show up tonight. I wouldn't put it past them, you know. Matter of fact, I'm going to check just for the hell of it. Because this person comes over, he's funny. You've seen him before. Mm. Okay, I am doing a live stream about doing Halloween up and cooking soon. And I am almost all out of weed. Yes, I'm almost out of weed. Anyone wants to help with the situation, you know. Going to anchor rock club tonight for and um, us to confess. Hmm. Okay, I'm going to set the timer on this. Timer 10 seconds. Okay. I realize you can't even tell. You know what? In order to get a decent Jasmine, hi. Mm. I'm going to get a quick selfie. Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to have to be step stooling. It's the only way I could get that picture. Can I add light to this? Oh, take this away. Oh. Whoops. Mm. Oops. A little bit too much zoom. I don't know if any of these are going to be any good. Oh, oh, I love chopsticks. You know, you'd be surprised how many times I have been taken into Asian restaurants with Asian people, and the people who work there just assume that I don't know how to use them. And even in places where no English was spoken. But you know what? I'm not going to assume malice. You know, I would still think that people would be flattered when we care enough about their culture to learn. But that said, if I really had a head for languages, I would speak more than just English. And unfortunately, I don't think I have a head for foreign tongues. And it's a shame because, you know, speaking other languages is a very useful skill. Mm. These are the plastic ones so you don't get splinters. I don't understand. There's a certain etiquette to eating with chopsticks and eating in Asian restaurants. On one hand, you're allowed to slurp and you're allowed to burp and all that stuff. It's considered respectful and you're appreciating, you're showing appreciation for how good the food is and everything. Then on the other hand, if say you have wooden chopsticks and they have splinters, as they often do, did you know that it's considered rude to do this, even though you're just taking the splinters off so you don't get splinters on your mouth? That is definitely a real thing which I've gotten, but it's considered rude. Another thing that's considered rude is you're not supposed to leave chopsticks sticking up in your food because it looks too much like one of their symbols for death, apparently. So, but there are certain little forms of etiquette that's like if I ever had a chance to spend 6 months in Japan, oh my goodness. But the whole learning Japanese thing, mm, and the whole expense thing. But oh my goodness, the food, the people, good looking guys there, good looking girls there, good looking people, clean society. You don't see a litter. There's different things that are frowned upon there. Apparently, you can't. It's not common to eat in public, eat while walking around like it is here in the United States. People don't think about it. Probably just as well because when you're walking and eating, you're not really in the moment. You're not enjoying. Yeah, there's this club. It's having an EDM night. You know, music like techno, and they're going to have. It's put on by the same people that were putting on the beach raves. Last time I went to a Moonlight Beach rave, I could have stayed out much later, but I came home at 7 a.m. because my mom was being taken to a vacation, and they were coming up and getting her. And when I came home, my cat Cassie was dead. That was the last time I went to one of these raves. I have not been paying attention to what's going on locally. You know, since my mom has been having her issues, I went straight from visiting her in hospitals to visiting her in uh, the nursing home, and now, of course, taking care of her at home. So I've not been going out much at all. You know, the last time I did anything of any great significance was when I went to Washington, D.C. You know, but I recently got in touch with some people that I knew who have something to do with some of the clubs that go on around here, and they said that I could get in tonight. I haven't been to a club in so long. So I told him, I said, look, I don't have any ID. And the cops took away my livelihood. You know. Roberta Culkin says, I speak some other languages. Italian because that's my heritage, but I learned a little German, Polish, French, some Spanish, and Greek. My friend was from Athens. I have a Greek friend who's from the island of Crete. Um, he started going out with one of my older lady friends. I think he moved here. Or maybe he has dual citizenship. I don't know. Mm. So, the doors open at 10 o'clock. I'm going to go there, get my dance on. It's going to be a costume contest. I'm going to enter it. If the gods are kind, I'll win. I got to find as many costume contests to enter this month as possible. Oh, another thing I'm working on, there's going to be a Dia de los Muertos celebration at Stockton Art Garage. And Dia de los Muertos is Day of the Dead. I went to the observances last time I was in Los Angeles. That's just before my birthday. And anyway, they have a contest for the man and the woman character. And I'm just trying to find more clothes that look like that. And I never find people go to the things I want to go to, except occasional needy males that are just looking for a girlfriend. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And if you go someplace with a male who's just a friend, everybody assumes you're a couple. So nobody talks to you. I used to run around with this friend who was actually my astrologer. And we used to go to a lot of artsy kind of places, but invariably people would think that we were a couple. It just got so tiring, you know. A lot of my friends just say they're too tired and they don't have the energy to go out hitting the club, dancing. It's like, I would think being out, you get this energy from being outside, and I would think it fills you and gives you the energy. The thing that sucked for me was when the pandemic happened. Sometime during that time, all of a sudden, when I went to put on my high heels again, they couldn't wear them anymore. All of a sudden, my feet just hurt. And if I try to put my foot into a high heel, I walk forward, and not so much on the left foot, but the right foot. I have such pain. Now, if I do decide to do something for the Charlie Kirk observance, last minute in Washington, D.C., you know I have to go. I was going to make some videos about getting ready for that. But then it didn't look like it was going to happen. I thought they were going to put his body lie in state in the Capitol Rotunda. I already decided. I picked out a three-piece suit and tie with that. I was going to wear. I love Washington. Mark my words. July 4th, 2026. I'll be there. Where I go, I take my channel with. With the three-piece suit, I think I'll look even more professional when I get in the Senate building. President Trump keeps on talking about how he wants new media, which is people like me. Give us a chance to be in the White House press corps. You know how much I love and support him on most of his agenda. What he's doing now. Oh, I'm planning a special live stream when the hostages in Israel get released. We're going to have a special party about that. You know, Trump got cheated out of that Nobel Peace Prize. You know he should have gotten it. I lost track of how many countries he got to kiss and make up this year. You see, even CNN has been forced to admit that he's been kicking ass. Mm. Mm. Oh, this is good. This has just a little bit of heat in it from the red pepper flakes. You know what the right thing to do is, right? Mom, this is cold. Would you like to eat some num-nums? It's fried rice. This is chicken and sliced portobello mushrooms and fried rice.
I was just thinking about guacamole and crackers because I'm getting hungry.
Oh, well.
Something else.
Excuse me. That was an open mouth, a closed mouth burp. See? Now the food doesn't go to waste. She gets to eat that. And I'm going to do the rest of my makeup. Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm going to have a baby. Big tummy, big tummy. Oh my goodness. Oh, one time I was trying not to eat because I was going to tryouts for a calendar for some club that doesn't exist anymore. And of course, what happens when you try not to eat? You finally get hungry, you finally eat, and you overeat. And of course, what I'm doing right now is really stupid. This is only going to make what's in my stomach expand, but I'm thirsty now. What can you do? So anyway, bottom line, I ended up not going for the calendar thing because my stomach had expanded and I looked like I was expecting twins, and I didn't go for it. All clubs here are dead. I like going to busy clubs. Yeah. And I like going to clubs where people make an effort. I hate it when there are these theme nights and I'm thinking, oh, this is fun. I'm going to go all out. I'm going to fit the theme. And nobody except the people that work there go to these themes. Like one time it was bikini night at this club called Boogie Nights. And I'm the only patron that dared to wear a string bikini. And I'm thinking, what the hell? And I have proof of this because I took my laptop and I did take a few selfies. And I'm thinking, why are people? I'm sure, okay, most people don't necessarily live really close to these clubs. And so if they're driving, they probably don't want to parade through the casino wearing a string bikini because they don't have the confidence in their bodies. And the thing is, there's a lot of nice looking people there. Some people have better bodies than mine. So in these days, I think people should feel comfortable and be accepting of whatever it is they got going on in their lives. And you have what you have, just kind of, accept it, accept yourself. And, okay, what am I looking for? Oh, I'm looking for the big palette to have the neutrals and stuff in it because I might want to use the black. You know what? That's probably in my room. I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plug this back in so I don't lose power. It sucks. Of course, sometimes I just switch devices. One time I had a phone that was going dead on me, and I just fortunately switched to another one. That's good to have extra equipment. It's cheap, and so when it doesn't work, then I switch to something else. Now, I'm going to come right back here. Oh. don't know why I actually thought maybe I had a wee little bit left. I don't think I do. But now I can't even find that smoke inhalation device. Oh, duh. Hello. Oh man. I think they're all gone. This, I had a tar pick, which I actually use sometimes to get scoop the weed into the bowl, and I can't even find that. Oh, damn it. No. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to do the lip color very last. And usually I have at least one black lip color, and I'm going to have to really look hard. Okay, I'm gonna assume I'm not going to do any more eating until after I take my last pictures and I come home. Uh, See what I'm doing here? Oh, this Instagram situation. My page is totally dying. I don't understand what it is. I don't know if people don't like that I like Trump, or now the Trumpers, they're all a bunch of born again Christians and they don't like it if you're into witchcraft. See, I know I have all these parts that look like I'm some kind of liberal or something. And when people find out that, hey, all these parts don't make sense. And I thought people were supposed to just be themselves. Hmm. Okay. That's where I was going to get the. Oh, darn. I need that blackface stuff. Where the hell is that? What, that might be in my watch. Uh, Mammy. I'm going to shut up. I am not politically correct. You guys should know that by now. No, no, I got to find. I had this little brush. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh. Okay, I don't know where that other little brushy is. Ah! Mm. I'm gonna try. I had a whole bunch of brushes, and I think I packed them up because we've been packing because we're supposed to be getting out of here, right? And where I put them, I honestly don't know. So now I only have a handful of, makeup brushes. See, the stickier this makeup is, the more I'm going to have to be very, very careful not to get anything smearing my face. But at least one thing, if I do get caught in the rain, this is pretty much grease paint, so it's not going to melt. And the eyeliner down here, that is waterproof. Yeah, I do almost everything alone because I can never find the people that want to do what I want to do. Plus, when they realize that you're a content creator, that really gets on a lot of people's nerves because sometimes you need to. Filming can be organic and you can film things as they happen. Other times, sometimes you have to retake things like entrances and things, and you know, not everybody has the patience to put up with production and stuff. And there are some people in my life who don't like the spotlight. And as much as some of us feel the need to kind of put ourselves out there, there are other people that don't want the attention. And, you know, both are valid ways to live, but it can be stressful being around people that want different things. I don't think that this, I always think it's better to use an eyeliner first and then use this. Okay. Oh yeah, you do YouTube also. I'm going to have to. Assuming, well, what's your channel name? Put your channel name in the comments, and when I'm not doing something else, I will be glad to check you out. I try to set aside some of my viewing time specifically looking at other creators. Well, obviously, if I'm watching YouTube, those are creators, but there's something about only we know what it's like to go through this and do all the planning involved and stuff. And I try to do things for Instagram all of a sudden because I had as high as 1,017 Instagram followers, and I'm down to like, I don't know what I'm down to now, but I'm telling you, people just they're, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to make people happy. Okay, I'm going to give you one more close up look of this, and I'm going to let you see. Now these are probably the shoes I'm going to end up wearing. I know they're not what you think of as club shoes, but if I'm going to be dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing until 4 in the morning, I got to be comfortable. I'll put some kind of socks on that are mostly white. So, okay, you guys, that is my video. This is how I do my zebra stripe thing, and I'm going to go out tonight and I'm going to do some filming. And who knows, if I do any contest winning or anything, I will certainly make the announcement. Thank you for tuning in. Roberta Calkins, thank you. Miss Jasmine, thank you. And if there's anybody else who I may have forgotten, which, let's see, who else was here? Um, no, it's just you guys. But hey, I'm grateful for you. I want you to know this. If there were no you, I couldn't be doing this because what am I going to do? Talk to myself? So, I think I understand my name. I have a few channels. It's random videos. Moon Laguchi is the other. Okay. All right. I'm wondering if I shouldn't change to another top because this is very high waisted. So I could, in theory, come up with something that's only this little, but I'll probably just. Okay, you guys. Oh, there was one other part of this. Oh, where is it? Okay. Okay. And I might throw a pair of earrings. I don't know. I guess you'll have to find out when I come out of the club, huh? And who knows? I might do a live stream when I'm home and I've got my smeared makeup on or something. But no promises, because I might just be tired. I might just want to. But then again, who knows? Anything could happen. I could run into a few friends and they can have a bunch of weed, and I can say, "Want to come get out of the rain and smoke some weed?" Things can happen. So, okay, I will talk to you guys when I get out of the club. Uh, clothing hauls. Yeah, I got one of those coming up, by the way. Okay, I will talk to you guys when I get out of the club. Take care now.